Nasikia uoga, kwani ulichoka? I feel kanitocha, mbona kanitocha? Ulinidanganya kaniweka kwenye tocha, ulinichanganya kaniweka ngoja ngoja. Akikuona ukanitoka, nakungoja nakuomba, tumie nikisonga songa, ni wewe tunaona ona, nasikia tukuroga roga, niweze kuitoa toa. Yeah, I need you. Siwezi amini ulinipa huzuni, nikahofia na wengine kijani rohoni kama korofia, nadonishamoka roho yako yakoja, avigeototumega umenyaga, lakini ukanikanyaga. Mbona sasa ukaniacha? Mbona uwezi kanikoja? Najua maybe sitakupanga, naona lately umenyamaza. Nasikia uoga, kwani ulitoka? I feel kanitocha, mbona kanitocha? Ulinidanganya kaniweka kwenye tocha, ulinichanganya kaniweka ngoja ngoja. Akikuona ukanitoka, nakungoja nakuomba, tumie nikisonga songa, ni wewe tunaona ona, nasikia tukuroga roga, niweze kuitoa toa.
Hamzambo family, welcome to the 54 Correspondence show on the Black Fire Network. My name is Spikes and I do hope that you are doing well. And I want to welcome each and every one of us to yet another interesting broadcast where we talk about all issues African. We discuss social economic matters, political matters, environmental matters, technological matters, and all other spheres of life right here on the beautiful continent that we also do call Al Kebulan. I hope that you are doing well, and I want to thank you so much for being part of the Black Fire Network and the media for the 21st century. We are an Afrocentric station that really hopes to inspire, collective African consciousness and also the unity of our people globally. It doesn't matter whether you are in Somalia, it doesn't matter whether you are in Namibia, it doesn't matter whether you are in Chicago, it doesn't matter whether you are in the UK or Canada. We just want to come together as a Black people and discuss issues affecting us with the aim of finding solutions and helping us also get back to a place of a global prominence. As a Black people, we want to inspire Black pride. We also want to inspire Black excellence at everything that we get to touch and do anywhere in this particular globe. Like I said, my name is Spikes, and I want to also welcome us to check out our official website, which is www.blackcodefirenetwork.com. We have had a problem with some of our streams, and that is why you might not be able to find us on these other streams, but we are on these one for the moment. We do hope that we shall be able to secure or get back the others. And that is why I'm also telling us to check us out on our official website. We know what is going on with the censorship globally. We might not even be able to be on these one for so long, because every other time that you try to speak on your mind and trying to tell the truth on what is happening around us, you will find the channels being getting a strike. Simply because you put out the information that is right and you put out the information that is actual, factual, but then again you will be told no, that is not what it is, and the censorship is going on all these different platforms. It doesn't matter whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. You will find that all of them being operated under a lot of restrictions. But nonetheless, as we start off this episode, I want to draw our attention to African words of wisdom. And these African words of wisdom also get to inspire African unity. We do have an African proverb that reads, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together, which is an African proverb that inspires a sense of unity. We have seen many African leaders or many African countries trying to go forward, and they're trying to go someplace faster. So they decide to go it by their own self. But what needs to be done is you need to realize that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I do believe with the spirit of coming together in African unity, African countries should get to embrace one another so that we can go further. Right now, as it is right now, you'll find all these tiny African countries pulling towards different ends, and we lack a common African agenda as a continent of Africa. That is what that is where how we have been conquered and ruled, because we are divided as a people. But yes, the African words of wisdom for today. The proverb reads: "If you want to go faster, go alone. But if you want to go further, just go together, go all together as a people." And that is what we should have to reach for. Kid, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Spikes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. You up early, but that's how it's supposed to be.
I gotta be up early. I gotta be down in Orlando, and then I headed down to Orlando. So I gotta be. I'm still gonna be late. I'm supposed to be there about 7, so I get there probably about 7:30, 7:45, depending on the traffic. It's summertime here, and people want to go to the wonderful world of Disney down there in Orlando. See Mickey Mouse and all that other crap.
So there might be a traffic situation as you get out. You might encounter the traffic situation.
Of course. Like I said, everybody's summertime, and and Orlando has Disney World. Disney World being the biggest one of the biggest theme parks in the world. So yeah, traffic messes up. Has traffic always backed up because people want to go to Disney World and run around with Mickey Mouse and all that other junk. So
that is how even black people are spending their money, which is really crazy.
Yeah, because you got Disney World and you got Disney World in France, Disney World in Japan, of course Disney World here in Orlando, and the first one, Disneyland out in Hollywood. So this goofy shit is global.
Even if I bet, even if the world is set up the same in Africa, I don't think we have any in Africa. Maybe in South Africa. I'm not sure we have.
No. It would be in South Africa. South Africa is the most developed country, so there would be one if in South Africa. But I think that South Africa, Disney World takes them so much land. When they come out there, would they agree to them taking all that land? It takes such a, Disney. When you bring Disney to a country, Disney's almost like they come out and build almost like a city. Disney World, their theme parks are as big as a city, right? So Disney World out there in Orlando is as big as fucking Nairobi as a city.
Damn.
So some people gonna give up in South Africa gonna give up that much land. So that's
they already have given. I don't think they will be already giving an extra more. They already have given so much land. So I don't think it would be a problem of giving them another extra city going now to the Mzungu to make up a park, which really might not benefit the people there. But
exactly right. It wouldn't benefit. They say, "Oh, to bring jobs. While all the black people are being all the serving jobs inside the park, all the white people are the visitors. Black people are the ones out there serving all the white people again. Hell, let's come in. They'll be the ones working at the restaurants. They'll be the ones working around, showing people around the park. Black people be the servers. You know what I'm saying, Spike?
You will find people getting the even the smallest benefits from this, because most of the money will be going back to their own country.
Of course.
But the South Africans will be lied to. Okay, we have this particular park. We have created a few jobs for a few janitors. We have created a few jobs.
Exactly right.
All these are menial jobs. All these are menial jobs. When the money is being siphoned back to their own country, that is what will be happening. But
exactly right, Mike. You say we got a couple jobs for janitors. It'll be all kind of low level shit, Mike. Exactly.
Yeah, so that is what you will find out. But talking about South Africa, I just wanted to update on the family what is happening in South Africa. There has been the unrest, the social. Let me just call it the
crime, social. Right? It's been arresting in Johannesburg, right, Spike?
Yes, there has been a lot of looting going on. I think the South Africans sometimes want to take advantage of the whole situation. If you do ask me, I think for for a small situation coming up, you will find that South Africans are doing the most in terms of the looting, the shops, and
But they're poverty. Like when you got a corrupt system that oppresses you and keeps you in poverty, that's what happens. You don't have to steal when you have resources, Spike. Ain't it funny? The African didn't know criminality until the white man got there. Right? The African wasn't looting and stealing. He didn't have to because he had access to his own resources. Now that he doesn't have access to his own resources, it puts you in criminality. The same thing happens. The same thing they say with us. Oh, Chicago. Oh, these niggas are committing crime. Because they're what? They're impoverished. They have no access to resources. White people stole all the resources and hoard them for themselves. Oh, these black people are just inherently criminal. That's what they'll say about the South Africans. Then why wasn't the South Africans committing any crimes before you white people showed up then?
What I have seen, yeah.
I'll go ahead, Spike.
I was saying South Africa, the president, the former president, Jacob Zuma, was saying that having him arrested and being given 15 months in prison because of contempt of court is a tantamount to return to apartheid. And we were saying, I think we were talking about it when we were saying that
putting them in jail and being corrupt is a tantamount to apartheid. See, that's how ridiculous this puppet is. That's how ridiculously idiotic. He doesn't. And they let you know he doesn't give a shit about the people, and he trivializes the African struggle when they were in apartheid. Me being in prison for 15 months is tantamount to apartheid.
Yeah, he was saying that it's going back to the old days in the 1990s and late 80s. It's going back to the old days. But you can see what is going on here is that many buildings, many shops have been destroyed. The arrest has been triggered by the jailing of the former president Jacob Zuma, and there has been calls from even the president for the deployment.
What happened is the ANC is corrupt, created by crackers. What they did, let me have some of their people go out there and start looting and tearing up shit. Because the African mind is easily manipulated. He's a dummy. South Africa, you're given poor education, you're impoverished, and so you practice tribal games. So you're easily manipulated to go do shit. Then you don't realize that makes African people look bad all over the planet. Look at these niggas. They all sorry and they unruly and they just committing crimes because there's something inherently wrong with black people.
Some of them now got the opportunity to go get themselves a new TV from the nearest store because they were storming into this. They were storming into these stores and taking everything. You can see there are lots of them. I don't think you would be waiting for these as a shop owner, as a shop owner, unless I don't think you will be waiting for them to come and tear it down or burn it down. From what you can see from some of the photos here. These are from some of the photos from on July 9th and July 10th. But the army has been deployed. Yes, and they have been requested for the deployment of the army to go and calm or stop these particular protests that are going on in South Africa. All of the leaders are actually, I will call them, all of them, I will call them just corrupt because even the incumbent one,
Raposa he's a puppet. Just like they killed the puppet in Haiti. Everybody knows that was an American job, but then we had a hands dirty. See, somewhere he's a puppet somewhere, and also he was against the vaccination. So he was against vaccinating people. I don't know why, because he's a puppet. It wasn't going to do him; he's going to do the rest of the people. But him being a puppet, he was against the vaccination. And hey, we ain't got to do a John Magafuli with you. We just gonna come and have a hit squad come and get your goofy ass. So yeah, it's you got no African leadership on the whole planet. Since they stole all the resources, all these African, I don't care if you're in America, Brazil, wherever you're at, they all been sold out, they all been bought out, and are puppets of white supremacy, work for white people. They push their biddy, Ramaphosa, fucking Buhari, fucking Kenyatta, all the congressional black caucus over here, all the mayors over there, all work for white people. Every last one of them. There's no independent leadership of Africa. The one you had, they murdered his ass. And make sure you understand, John Magufuli was murdered. He didn't die. He was murdered.
And then they came up with the excuse of a heart attack. And
of course. That's what they all do. Exactly. John Magufuli didn't play ball. He was African leaders that didn't play ball. It's not going to be tough. And as you see, now that he's dead, the Chinese are pushing through with that fucking fort that John Magufuli said, hell no, you be drunk to sign this dumbass deal. This don't support us as African people or as Tanzanians. And John Magufuli was one of the few Pan-Africanists. So you being a Pan-Africanist would get you murdered. And caring about your African people would get you murdered. Go ahead, Spike.
But it seems like it's not just on the continent, because we have also seen Cuba. There has been a lot of unrest going on in Cuba.
It's everywhere. Black people are. You under a global system of white supremacy. That's why I told you it doesn't make a difference matter where you at in the world. You're always gonna see white on top, black on the bottom. You can be in Brazil. You're gonna see that same dichotomy. Be in America, same dichotomy. In Africa, same dichotomy. White on top, black on the bottom. They set up this global racial scheme.
The caste system in India, the caste system in India as well. You will
everywhere.
Find
it's a caste system all over the planet with black people. All they did was took the Indian caste system and times 10 around the world. Exactly. Live under the caste system with black is on the bottom.
So for Cuba, they are saying that it has been organized for a very, very long time, and they're saying that the elements, the influences are coming from the USA. They're blaming them.
They've always wanted to topple Cuba and get it back. America's always controlled Cuba until Castro got control of it 50 years ago. They always wanted Cuba back to destroy Cuba. Go on and take it over. It's always the communists. You ain't said that when you built China. China's the biggest communist country on the planet. You don't call China communist. Communist. When you were building China into a power, this poor, wretched ass, backward ass country that you built into a power, you weren't calling communist. China's communist when you were shipping all the jobs to China. But poor little Cuba, it's communist. We must stop the communist scourge in Cuba.
It's a communist Cuba. That is exactly what is happening, and the blame will be going on to sort of also. It's like they were doing with Venezuela. You remember in Venezuela they were saying everyone is dying because of the hunger, and every product, all the shops, the shelves on the shops are actually empty, and they were pushing the narrative that they die and they need an intervention.
No shop in Cuba. Cuba has the best medical system on the planet, the best doctors. There's doctors come from Cuba, but it's poor. But it's a country that decides to go against the IMF and the World Bank and not be part of the Rothschild. That's why it's targeted. That's why it's targeted. It's been constantly targeted for destruction. Because it's outside their system of control. We're going to get Cuba. We're going to get Cuba.
They want to use it as an example. They need to use it. They want to make an example of it. They want to make an example of Cuba.
They've already made an example out of every country. Every country already fall in line. It's not really making an example. It's just going to get it and say you're going to fall in line to our rule. Now we're making who they make an example to? All the countries they already control all of them. So not making an example to who? To nobody. Cuba's one of the countries that sits outside of the Rockefeller Rothschild control. And you're not going to be allowed to stay there. Eventually we're going to get your ass. Eventually we're going to topple your ass.
And of course, if you also look at going back to the continent, there has also been the same going on with Swaziland. We were talking about Swaziland. They now call it Eswatini. People are tired of also living in poverty, and that is why people are also tipped off easily. People have been living without jobs. People have been living without.
I told you, how can you live in the richest continent, spikes and be impoverished? I know the African still doesn't know that, but he's like, how can you live on the richest continent on the planet that made every Everybody got. When after World War II, the Europeans used Africa to rebuild themselves, and then they used Africa to fucking industrialize fucking Asia. They developed Asia from Africa. What you doing? Almost killed you, stupid. Go ahead, Spike.
Someone driving crazy on the road. Yeah, I think someone is driving crazy.
Yeah.
But our family,
crazy.
54. This is a 54 correspondence show on the Black Coach Network media for the 21st century. In case you haven't checked us out on our official website, it's www.blackcoachfanetwork.com. And once you are on the website, kindly feel free to to sign up on the website and create a profile on the website. That will help you towards getting to interact with us.
We're rebuilding the whole website. It's gonna be state of the art. Rebuilding the that's where we go most of the we rebuilding the website's gonna be state of the art. Very expensively made, very expensively done. We're gonna redo the app for Apple and of course Android. And it's gonna be top notch, family. I put a lot of money in it, but shit. These kept breaking down. I didn't have the money to repair everything. Now I do. It's gonna be top notch. So your experience over at Black Hot Fire, you're gonna see that it's been carefully done.
We lost our power again.
And a lot of things look professionally done. Go ahead, Spike. Oh, did I lose you, Spike? Oh, the power went out?
We are having a power glitch here, but nonetheless, we were saying that the website is actually being worked on, and the family can get to now enjoy the features on the website, and also it also involve having that particular.
I gotta look and see if this idiot put up Joby's picture yet. How many the picture of that Catherine lady too, Catherine girl, a young lady?
Yeah, I'll send it through. I'll send it through tomorrow, or today or tomorrow.
You got it. Oh, okay. You got a decent picture of her already?
No, I'm saying I'll send it. I can ask her to send through one on email, or maybe I can take another one tomorrow.
Just take one. Yeah, just take one inside the studio behind it. Yeah, just take one in the studio. Yeah, take one in the studio. Or if we give her a chance, they say, we need to take a picture. You want to look your best. We don't want you looking. We don't want you on the website looking all crazy and half fucked up. That's
true. But of course, I hope that everyone else will also be able to download the app, because people are saying they were not able to find it on the Apple Store. But when things are ready, they will also be able to find it.
I'm going to put on Apple Store and I'm put push. I'm actually take my time and do it right. So we have push technology on there. Whenever we go live on the network, it'll push out to your emails to let you know we are live. So we gotta do everything that Google does on the website, because we gotta folks on the website, because they kicked me off of Google, off of YouTube. I can't get on the shit to watch those shows. So as soon as I get on it, everything goes off. As soon as I click on the app, it's off. Click on the app, it's off.
It actually shuts itself down. It shuts itself down.
And that's on that's on all my tablets, all my phones. But it ain't the same number. The phones are different numbers. Let you know this is purposely. My tablets don't have numbers. So let you know this is purposely done of what they're doing. They're letting you know I'm to shut up. I'm not to get this information out.
I think that's the same thing they did to that brother. There was a brother we used to share his videos, and I think you were saying he sounded white. Someone, I don't know if it was you, but it was someone on the chat who said they thought the brother was a white, but it was a black brother. It seems like they took him off the platforms because he was sharing important information, like the videos you were talking about, the Mayans, and other videos from there was some, I can't remember whether it was a series, but he was doing videos systematically following each other, like the part 1, the part 2. I think they also got rid of him from YouTube as well. and that is what they're trying to do with you. It's an offensive. It's an offensive against truth speakers, people who are just sharing the information, so they know.
Censorship. If you were telling a lie, they would keep you on
prop up your numbers. Yeah, they will prop up your numbers. Actually, they will. They would
prop your numbers up. Exactly.
Yeah, but
this information, YouTube would keep your numbers up. Exactly right. They were like, yeah, push that shit, push the you know what, yeah. But when you're not speaking any kind of truth, you become dangerous to the establishment. You're waking up people, and that becomes dangerous. And I don't care. As us as African people, it's time for us to wake up. It's time.
And
it's time for us to come together as unity. You got to know you're one people. Of course, that's why when we look at that movie, parts of it, we look at the whole thing, Underground Railroad, the young lady playing that part is from South Africa. I didn't know that. Because we're one people, unless you say something. I know she wasn't an African American. But she, because
I didn't know about it either till you said it. I didn't know about it
I didn't know what to see on an interview. I didn't know what to see on an interview saying, how was it for you being a South African? South African? What? How was you being a South African playing this role? She said, I found it mentally disturbing to know that my African family had went through this kind of stuff on the other side of the planet. I had to seek counseling playing a slave. So I said, damn, I didn't know she was South African because we're the same people.
But even Lupita did play her role this role. Even Lupita,
exactly.
On the 12 years.
We didn't know Lupita was Kenyan. Lupita didn't have a Kenyan accent. We didn't know Lupita was Kenyan. Because we're one people. That's why you're supposed to know it. But I didn't need to look at the movie to know that. I know that. I know the history of Africa. So African people moved throughout the globe. I know we're one people. I know that. I don't get caught up in dumb tribalism and all that shit. That shit means nothing to me. So, but I want you to be able to see that someone tells you that to that. You just better look at another African and say, hey, he's African, stupid. Not a tribe, he's an African. But racially an African. Good choice, Mike.
But I'm saying, in regards to the matters of South Africa and what is going on in South Africa, I do hope something positive comes out of it. Because right now, I do understand that
what
that
positive
people
can come out of it, Mike? What positive?
I'm saying people will be more involved.
They're already taking the you know what. They're already dumb enough taking the you know what.
That's a problem. That's a problem. No, I'm saying the positive for me.
I know you want to be. I know you want to be optimistic, but what good could come out of it? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I do hope that people are able to get to organize better amongst themselves, so that when time is right,
I agree with that.
When time is right, because you need to be organized. You have the numbers, but if you're not organized, then you're doing nothing. The numbers are there; they are the majority. But if you're not organized, then you're doing nothing. You'll repeat the same on and off again. That the protest never goes.
You have to be organized.
Anywhere.
And you need to stop being xenophobic. You need to stop being xenophobic. You're xenophobic about the Africans. Even xenophobic about the other African tribes that are in South Africa. You're xenophobic against your own self.
The problem,
shit is crazy.
In South Africa, they do not even need them Zungu fighting them, because they fight themselves, amongst themselves way too much. So you do not even need. Let me tell you something. Even if you see these numbers, because right now they're talking about 32 persons, at least 32 persons are dead from the pro-Zuma protest. You will find almost all these 32 persons being black. It's black on black. It's the people killing themselves, which is really, you'll not find any of these Mzungus being mentioned on this particular one.
Well,
but nonetheless, talking about
manipulation, right? About the manipulation of the mind. Your mind is fucked up. Like you taught dumb shit, lies from a child, and you don't know how to critically think. You don't know how to focus. You're easily manipulated. The African is easily manipulated. Easily. That means you can, whatever issue, they can sway you back and forth because you're easily manipulated. That's been the problem. You're easily manipulated. They're like that. And white people love it. They sit back and laugh. These dumbass niggas. They stupid as shit. We do whatever we want to do, divide and conquer these idiots. They tell me they're just there. You know, African as smart as us, and we just manipulate these dummies all the time. That's what they say.
But talking about organizing and having people together, I just wanted to highlight briefly on the history, the legacy of Winnie Mandela in South Africa. I also do believe as African people, you do have a problem, falling back in line and being led by one individual. I think people have a problem with leadership also being led.
You don't have any leaders. All y'all supposed to be smart enough. There is no leadership. You all are leaders. That's been the problem, exactly right. But shout out to Dr. Mumby getting realized that Nelson Mandela, she put out a video kit, Nelson Mandela was out for black people. How about that? That's why whenever you see white people make movies about black people, you know they wasn't about black people. You need to know, you need to click, you know that. You got a bunch of Nelson Mandela movies, a bunch of goddamn Martin Luther King movies, they let you know they were puppets.
That's a confirmation. If you see them celebrating them,
exactly. That's your confirmation, Spice. Exactly. If they turn down an African leader, that lets you know the African leader is not a puppet. They turned down Magufuli, turned down T.L.O. Lumumba back in the day when he murdered him. Whenever they turn an African leader down, you know he's not a puppet.
And Idi Amin, he also did it.
Idi Amin. I know Dr. Mumby's listening because she mentioned Idi Amin. Don't know if I mentioned Idi Amin. I knew she listened. And Idi Amin, he knew who he was. We know you listen, Dr. Mumby.
Shout out to her. I just wanted to highlight briefly about the legacy of the Winnie Mandela, who of course was the wife of Nelson Mandela, but she was really about that work. And she said this is what the generation of freedom seekers and those that fight for justice in our generation must understand. Nobody will do it for us. We must be present ourselves. We might be present on the field of battle. We might be present. We must be present at the table of negotiation. What I do see, if South Africans are not careful, you might see the return of a white. We can't even have a white president back in South Africa. If South Africans really are not careful, we would have a situation where we would have a return of a white president. We have seen FW. His name was FW. What was his name? His name was FW. He was a white president in South Africa.
Clark.
Yeah, FW de Klerk. And we might, if people are really not.
The only white president. They were all white. They got to go to church. They were all white.
They were all white. I was talking about them Zungu. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me about Kenyatta as a white wife. He was telling me Kenyatta had like 4 wives, and one of them was a white woman, and he also had the president's son. The president's brother is a white man, so he will not speak anything on it. And
wait, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
You talking about Jumbo Kenyatta had a white wife?
Yes. I had forgotten that her name was Edna Clark. I had forgotten about that part of history. Her name was Edna Clark. So one of the brothers of our president is a white man. He's a mulatto.
Can't you know he was a puppet? Just like that's why they raised him up. That's why he let white people keep the land in Kenya. He was a puppet to begin with.
This is a woman I'm talking about. This is the one on the right. She's ugly. She's ugly as ugly could get. But you see them on the photo.
It didn't make a difference. She's a white woman. She's a puppet.
Yeah.
That's why he gets all the land back to the damn white, to the British. It's the same old. And that's why they have to, Jomo Kenyatta, the name of the country. He is a hero. He's not no fucking hero. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, you're in bed with the colonizer, and you're talking about getting rid of the colonizer from your country.
Yeah,
how would you?
In bed, and he instigated more tribalism inside of Kenya. Anybody know his damn record? He instigated the tribal shit that you see in Kenya today.
Yeah. So you can bet. I'm not sure whether she did have other children with other men in England, but you would find that some of the brothers of our president are white people. So you will not have. You will not.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you will not.
I didn't even know that shit. God damn, nobody a puppet.
You will not speak anything on it being a puppet like that, because now I've seen there is the family tree here, like the Kenyans as a family. You find this woman in the middle of it, and then you'll find other women, because he had like 4 wives. So this is Edna Clark, and
yeah. And that right there, Kenyans are a perfect description of the book Destruction of African Civilization.
Exactly.
White people control all that land in Kenya, put the puppets here, get these Negroes some ugly ass white women, because they desire white women so bad. White women's better than my women. I'm better. I'm better. I'm less than white people. Because Kenyatta was taught that his whole life as a child. He was a moron. So he instilled that to his own people. And then every TV show in Kenya praising how great Kenyatta was, a great leader. Oh yeah. Same way they do in damn South Africa with goddamn Nelson Mandela. No good ass. Go ahead,
the founding father, quote unquote, the founding father. You're talking ill about the founding father. You need to talk. you need to have some respect for the founding father.
So now you caught your own bullshit, because you can't go against the damn propaganda that the British put in there. He's a puppet.
You know, he actually looked. He's a British. He actually looked for the one that looked very, very close to the Queen of England. She looks like the hair, the way she put her hair on. You need to get in bed with the. You need to get in bed with the colonizer look-alike herself. That makes you. That makes
you. Only. Hey, look, you only find in Africa. You don't find nobody. You see the Chinese getting in bed with their colonizers, the Japanese. Nobody but the dumbass nigga. Nobody's done that dumb shit. But now the country goes back to white people because you've been given so much hatred of yourself. Kenyatta hated himself. I don't care how much fucking goofy goddamn books they write about this goofy nigga, how many fake ass documentaries him loving at. He hated African people, he hated himself. That's why they marry white people. Need to know that. You don't marry a fucking enemy who's been raping and pillaging your goddamn mama and grandparents came in to steal the country from you. Nobody does that shit. Go ahead,
you can see from the images here. This is his name is Peter Magana. Peter Magana is the son of the other wife of President Kenyatta. You will see him here on this picture here, and I think he's also the one. He's also the one here.
And that's where you get the miscegenation of African people and understand African people. That was a plot. White people know what they do when they do it. That's a plot to destroy you from within. Internally. That's to destroy your internal politics. Have a goddamn traitor amongst you. That you birthed. You birthed your own traitor.
And then you will talk about how you're going into the forest and are fighting the British to leave your country. How would you go in the forest to fight the British to leave your country? Well, as whomever is leading the fight is with one of them. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly right, Mike. You're exactly right. It doesn't make any sense. That's why Io Kamati is the goddamn father of Kenya, not Kenyatta. That's why he's the father of Kenya. Not no fucking. But he'll never get that praise because white people didn't put him on. Because he was the one actually fighting their ass. Just like Stephen Biko in South Africa. You're not gonna get any Stephen Biko praises and love for Stephen Biko. Because he was fighting the cracker. Said this motherfucking beast is vicious. We gotta fight this no good dirty white bastard. You're not gonna get white people say, "Oh, Stephen Biko was a great man."
But I think also apart from the leaders being puppets, even the people who are being led are ignorant. I think we even as a Kenyan people are ignorant. If you go to the streets and ask about, if you leave the studio and go out in the streets and ask people if they know of a Kenyatta as a white woman, none of them have.
Exactly.
People are not even interested. You will find people, I don't know about that. They'll just I don't know about it. Because people are busy trying to live. People are busy trying to live their lives and make ends meet.
Exactly. When you live hand when you live in hand to mouth, Mike.
You don't have even time for critical.
You don't got time to worry about what Kenyatta had a white woman 50 years ago. You don't understand. It does affect your life today. You don't understand how that affects your life. But because you live in hand to mouth, you don't got time to sit and think.
You're
and
busy.
That's what African was so smart, because he had everything in Africa. Africans had time to sit and think. That's why they always say that Africa was so brilliant, because in Europe they didn't. Europe was starving. They had to go. They was always starving. They had time to sit and think. Asians was all fucked up in Asia. They had, in Africa, you had all the groceries and food and all that shit. So the African had time to sit and think.
So what I see
now he doesn't. Go ahead, Mike.
What I see is that this woman died in 1995. These are white woman. She died in 1995 when she was 86.
When she died, Mike? Was she in Kenya or Britain?
No, she was in British. She was in Britain, of course. She wasn't in.
Oh my God!
Your allegiance doesn't lie with these Kenyan. Your allegiance will be with the white people at the end of the day. Why would you be dying? Why would you be dying in Kenya? Why would you be dying in Kenya? And it's that she was also a teacher, but maybe she was also a spy. You never know. They set him up. Maybe they set him up.
Spies, right? Of course. She was a spy. But she tried to
Yeah, just like they did with.
That's what they do. That's what they do. It's to keep Africa at all costs. That's what they do. Oh, I'm in love. Look at my white woman. I'm Kenyatta. I'm better than you other Negroes. Look at my white woman. She's ugly, yes, but she's white.
But he later went on and married younger girls, and of course he had 4 of them. The first one before he married this white one was known as a Grace, and then he married the white one, and then married another one, and then married the last one, who is known as also the founding. What do you call her? The founding mother. The youngest one is one who is still the head of that particular family. And what I do suspect, is that when they were appointing the current incoming president to be the leader, they actually did not go for the one who is hard to deal with. They actually went for the son who they can be able to manipulate, or who they can be able to.
They got the whole family, right? No make difference. The president control the whole. They're not gonna step out of line.
You will not step out of line. You would not really step out of with that one, because they will eventually find another puppet waiting in line. I think they are always breeding puppets. They have another one waiting in line every other second, so that now
you're critically thinking.
If you step out of the line, they will already have someone.
They got a conveyor belt of puppets, like conveyor belt.
It's like the conveyor. It's like at the chocolate factory when they are putting the chocolate in the it's like one is rolling up, or the biscuits, one is rolling after the other, and then they will pack like they do. It's the same thing that they do with these puppets everywhere on the continent, and even anywhere. We do have the Commonwealth as well. The Commonwealth, everywhere you will find the same thing happening. But nonetheless, I just want to touch on what is happening in Eswatini as well. There has been, of course, the matters of Eswatini, which is also known as Swaziland. And in Swaziland, the protest has continued, and the protest has continued. And South Africa's Thabo Mbeki has been called to intervene with what is happening in Eswatini. I don't think he might be of a great help, because the problems are much deeper than just going to have
they gave that because the king fled, right? Then the king fled to like
he hasn't shown himself, so it's assumed that he fled. He hasn't shown himself.
Okay, it's not sure he fled. Okay.
Yeah, so he's not sure whether he's.
No one was to support a puppet. They live in poverty. He's living all good in his car, lavish cars. Look at me, niggas. I'm your leader. I know you all impoverished, don't have no job, but look at me. All that old dumb shit.
That is what is happening. But he has been called the Eswatini South Africa's Thabo Mbeki. He has been called. He was a former president. He was also of the ANC. He was a former president of South Africa, also known as Thabo Mbeki. He has been approached to help facilitate the talks between the government and the civil society and Eswatini following the 4 days of a violent protest in the absolute monarchy. It is understood that King Eswatini's King Swati III and the Prime Minister Themba Masuku approached the former statesman, but Tambo told them he would only agree if the process is led by the South African Development Community, which is, according to a source close to this particular platform, the African Report. So I don't see dialogue also really taking the rightful course. I would see the only solution for that in the country, the king stepping.
People are upset for living in poverty. What are you going? The problem is poverty. Africans has been impoverished, and you got awakening youth on the continent, as the ancestors said they would. They said the older generation would either be murdered. These in the documents. The Africans are brilliant. Said the older generation would be murdered. Get out the goddamn way, Grandma. You've allowed these white people to come in and steal our inheritance for living in poverty. You can't tell. The African might not know he lives on a richer continent, but he knows he's impoverished. He knows that.
Yeah. So
that
that
when
is.
he looks, he's impoverished. Go ahead, Mike.
So that is exactly what is happening. But I also wanted to give us an update regarding Mozambique. In Mozambique, the South African nations did decide to come together and put together a force that will go into Mozambique and help.
Help. They let white mercenaries into Mozambique kill innocent black people because Mozambique that motherfucker's a puppet. They have white mercenaries going, and you're supposed to be able to handle your own fucking problems in your country, but you're going to hire white mercenaries to go in your country that are murdering innocent black people.
That is what is being done. But the SADC, which is the Southern African Development Corporation, did decide to send out its troop into to go and fight the insurgency in Mozambique. But also, guess what else has happened? The French also have sent in forces into Mozambique, and the
French. The French. They go to French again. The fucking French. Africa. If we don't go to war against the French, I mean, war against the French.
So the French, the SADC, the South African Development Corporation, is not at all pleased with the sending of these French troops into Mozambique, because they're getting involved in a fight that is not even theirs. But I know it's a fight. I cannot call it a fight that is not theirs, because I do believe they are also involved in terms of sponsoring it. They have, for example,
they're the ones sponsoring the damn shit because the resources were found in that part of Mozambique. When there was no resources found, it was quiet. They found diamonds, oil, and gas in that part of Mozambique. And that's why I was said, go ahead, Mike.
I'm saying that they were said to have halted its gas project in northern Mozambique, and this was sometimes back. Because they're saying that the French energy firm, which is known as Total, announced on Monday that it has halted all its operations on its $20 billion investment in a liquefied natural gas project in northern Mozambique. But this is also how they will be able to.
Natural gas.
Yeah, natural gas, and they have the investment. So they are saying that they're now going into this area to protect their the investment in the area. But it's the same Hungarian direct, bringing up all these skills and insurgency and and then going back and saying we are bringing a security and protection to the people. Well, as you are the same ones that have brought up these.
That allows them to go look at and know that air full of natural gas. We'll bring our terrorists in to run the people away while we can survey and say, oh yeah, all this natural gas, we're gonna start stealing this shit. So all this terrorists around here. All you people get off the land.
You know who else? You also know who else will be going into Mozambique? The U.S. As well. The U.S. and our friends look to move in. The U.S. as well will be following, and they will also be throwing their spanner in the works to see that they also get the most out of the conflict going on. Yeah.
Like I said, there was no strife over there until they found out it was full of diamonds and oil and damn natural gas. There was no strife there. There was no strife. But now they found out now it's terrorism, and now Boko Haram or Al Shabaab, whatever goofy name they give them, ain't nothing but the French intelligence agency. And now Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab is there causing havoc with their terrorism. We must go save these dirty niggas from the scourge of Islamic terrorism.
Islamic, it's not Islamic terrorism. That's some nonsense.
I'm glad the Africans wake up and realize, especially in the Sahel, when the Mali and so you get the French, get their ass out of here. They the terrorists. I'm glad Africans are finally waking up. This fucking Islamic terrorism. Others ain't got no money for all these weapons. Where these Islamists getting all this money from? We don't know the Islamic terrorism from Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab.
That is a nonsense going on with Africa and Mozambique in people suffering because they do have an abundance of natural resources.
That's what they did with Somali. They go in, they fuck up the country, make it a failed state. If it's a failed state, I can now start stealing all the resources. Oh, these dumb niggas don't know how to do a country. It's a failed state. And it's a failed state now because you went and bombed and blew up people, tore shit up, and the terrorists are still running around. But we get to extract all the gold, all the diamonds, all the natural gas, and all the oil. Too bad for you, goofy niggas. You live in a failed state. Too bad.
I think the lack of a proper military force is also another challenge because, for example, the one that was being sent in from the SADC,
all Africa has to do. Angola's been taken over. Angola can't do no more. Angola's been fucked up and taken over from within since it stopped war in 30 years. But Angola should unite all African nations from Kenya, Nigeria, and put together a one African army, a real army. Then you could fight anybody on the ground, whether it be fake terrorists from the Europeans or the Europeans.
But
you
also,
could quickly go in and assess. You could quickly go in and assess and wipe their ass out. What we know, stealing the grills, or so you wipe their ass out, and then you make it eat it. Eat it, you body, because when you build a real military, you're gonna bring in the resources, so you're gonna grow the country and make it profitable. Then you're gonna make anybody on the continent join a terrorist group. It's when we find you, it's punishable by death.
Yeah.
Death. That's your damn edict. You're gonna die.
Yeah. That would be a good way of solving out the problems. But also in West Africa, we also need a military force in West Africa by the ECOWAS. But that is also lacking.
I said no, not just all of Africa. Fuck the ECOWAS and the East Africa. I don't want to East. I want all sub-Saharan Africa where black people are. One force, you need one united force that control that goes throughout Africa justly and fairly, but controlled by the African. And it is a force to go against any Chinese settlers, if they're illegal, any other Europeans, but these fake terrorist groups, and dispatch immediately. Whole things always keep Africa separate. Africa, if you just unite, if you just learn to love one another and unite, you're undefeatable. Till you learn that, you're going to have terrorist groups here, terrorist groups there, terrorist groups every fucking where. Because you have the resources of the planet.
So I do believe that one of the biggest challenges facing Africa is also that the division and also the lack of a proper military unit. But nonetheless, I want to move on.
I think it's coming. Can't nobody in Kenya buy goopy ass crop dusters. Call that a goddamn military weapon. Military plane. We bought this old ass raggedy crop duster from America.
Agricultural irrigation planes. Military force. But I want to move away from that and attacks on something else that is happening with Africa. I needed to soon. I have been talking about making a report show. I will be having that very, very soon. But I was searching up some of the best selling stocks. Some of the best selling stocks in Africa. And I happen to realize that pharmaceuticals is a big business on the African continent because according to this particular list, the number one stock name is Alti Drugs Limited. with a yearly return of 510%. The second one is also a pharmaceuticals company known as Loras Labs, which has an annual return of 376%. And the third one is also IOL Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals, another pharmaceutical company, which has an annual return of 353%. And if you look at some of these companies or these stocks, some of the best stocks in Africa, then you would realize that what are the areas of priorities on Africa and what is being done to Africa, because you realize the pharmaceuticals are making the best returns. They constitute the best stocks in Africa.
So what Spikes is doing, Spikes is learning how to research, how to read, how to re-engineer something, and how to critically think. He sees why all these chemical pharmaceutical companies in Africa, because they're there to do something. They're not there to help.
And most of these particular companies also, you will find they are not owned. The parent companies are not owned by the African themselves. You'll find that the ownership of these companies is not owned, is not under Africans.
Every dig and goes back to the super people that own the flag. It's always gonna go back to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. It's gonna go back. Those companies in Africa are just subsidiaries of bigger companies owned by these people. Those are subsidiaries. That's it. That gives you a cover story. Oh, this is blah blah that company, but who owns that company? Well, I don't know. It's owned by GlaxoSmithKline in Germany. Who owns that shit then? It's always a shell. Till you find out who owns. Then you go, oh, the Rothschilds own all this shit. Oh, okay.
Yes, you will realize that they will go back to the hands of the ownership and the ownership of a few individuals, and they might even be interlinked. You'll find some of them even getting being owned by the same owners at the end of the day. And that is what I was just looking for, to see what are some of these stocks. We do not have a central. What can I call it? We do not have one stock exchange. We do not have one stock exchange that serves the African people under one, because every other country has its own stock exchange, and I do believe that also serves to our own disadvantage. It serves to our own disadvantage as the African people, because we
disadvantage of it set by Europeans. They set the market. You shouldn't have a stock exchange. That's all white people shit. Exactly. Why the stock exchange was for them to give value to African minerals and resources. They set the market. If I got this shit out of fucking mind. I always go back to this family. Spike has everything in his house. I said, but damn, Spike owns every damn thing. Shit. Well, Spike, I'm gonna set the price of everything in your house. You say, well, kid, how you get to do that? Because you're a dumb nigga, Spike. I'm doing it because I told you I got the power. I'm gonna do it, and you allow me to do it. So your couch, I'm gonna say your couch in your house is worth $20. I'm gonna buy for $20, even though it's probably worth $10,000. He said, kid, I bought that. That couch is worth at least $10,000. I said, shut up. Worth $10. I'm setting the price. so they buy all your resources at a reduced price while you still stay in poverty, and the money. That little bit of money goes to the elite puppets that they put in charge, and everybody in Africa is living in poverty. That's the scam.
They have set up the price of anything. I agree with you. Unless the African starts holding it back and are making the rightful decisions, then that will not actually happen. There is a stock exchange, the JSE, which is I do believe is a Johannesburg. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange Limited is the largest stock exchange in Africa, located in Asanton, Johannesburg. We also do have the Nairobi.
That's what white people were at when they ruled South Africa. They're not the biggest exchange in Africa.
So if someone is looking into the investment markets in Africa, it is also very, very difficult to find black-owned, really totally black-owned funds to invest, to invest in Africa. But it has been made purposefully. There's a purpose. It doesn't just have to happen accidentally. It has been made by a purpose of making sure that black people do not have ownership. And if you do not have ownership, then you cannot even push the economy forward, because
exactly.
the money will be
You have
removed.
ownership on your own continent means you're a slave. Means you gotta buck dance and laugh for crackers. They not make the hey, look at this. This is the Lions, white people. Here go a couple pennies, nigga. Take it. Oh, thank you, white man. You get to be servants for other people. That's what it tells you.
Most of these companies, you'll find the Indians are sending back their money to India. You'll find that these are the Mzungu also sending back their money to the Mzungu countries.
Of course.
The poverty
it's
cycle.
It's the raping of Africa. The money comes out of Africa. They send it back to India. Send it back to Europe.
But
Africa is. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I'm saying I do believe, or maybe perhaps a legislation should be made so that we, even if there is an investor coming into the country, they should be aware of making sure that the investment.
How's going to be legislation made and I control your legislation? I'm not going to allow none of these puppets I put in there. When you guys have campaigns, the Europeans control that. The money, all those campaigns you see, that comes from Europe. The money that they've already stolen is the money that they reinvest to run these campaigns and cause this division during election season through all African countries. So I'm not gonna allow my puppets to overthrow me. Why are they puppets?
I know that perhaps the presidents of these individual countries will not assent to such a bill. If you make a bill to make sure
that the youth it's gonna be revolution in Africa. Period. Can't get rid of all that bill shit ain't gonna work. African kids are gonna rise up and have to start killing people. That's what's gonna happen. Africa's gotta be free, Spike. Period. It's a captured colony for white and Asians to keep them rich by keeping Africans poor. That's what it is. There's no legislative scheme that white people say, you know what, we want to be poor again. We're going to give Africa back to the Africans. Like, never going to do that.
It is. I do believe at the end of the day, it's us as African people to also take up the responsibility of actually changing things around, because we do say that we are the change that we are looking forward to. And we are coming to the end of our broadcast for today.
Well, like you said, the Africans got to get more knowledge. You got to know. You can't go on the street and say, you know, Kenyatta had a white wife. Like, wait, Tom, get out of here. You're crazy. What are you talking about? You got to inform. You know, Kenyatta was a puppet. No, he was the father of the nation.
It's either we are very forgetful, or it's either we are ignorant. But nonetheless, we have to educate ourselves.
I think it's more ignorant than forgetful. I mean, I was in South Africa. I said, hey, that's the father of South Africa. Yes, he is, brother. Thank God for Nelson Mandela. I said, what? Nelson Mandela is the father of South Africa. You like him too? I said, no. I remember I told that lady at the train station something. I said, Nelson Mandela is a dirty, rotten, traitorous bastard. You know, that lady, like, she wanted to have a heart attack when I said that shit to her, Spike. I mean, she got physically ill, Spike, when I said Nelson Mandela was a rottenest, no good, traitorous bastard to black people. It's like, you would think I took something and hit her in the face. I didn't know it was that bad of a reaction, Spike. It was like visceral. I think that lady wanted to punch me in my mouth when I said that to her.
If you go, they are willing to swear by their own mom's names and also fight you to the death. But nonetheless.
Hold on, Spike. I want to say something, Spike. Before you start the show, do a test with me. Let's go in the test part of I forgot to share this video with you and Joby, right? I'm gonna send it now. I gotta. It ain't a minute, but it's gonna show you how they were doing forced vaccination. I'll tell you in a minute. Just go.
When we talk on it, they'll just block the stream.
I know. Let me go. Yeah, let me go in. I'll send it to you and we'll go in the test thing. It's only like a minute. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for joining us on the show and also giving us
much love, family. Much love.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
bitocha.